It's 2:45 a.m., June 2010. Deep inside Iran's Natanz nuclear facility, a faint hum fills the air. The machines responsible for enriching uranium spin at breakneck speeds, some of the most delicate, dangerous pieces of equipment in the world. But something is wrong. Something has changed. The operators glance nervously at their monitors as they watch a series of unsettling readings. Centrifuges that should be spinning smoothly are suddenly behaving erratically, rotating faster than they're supposed to. A slight, almost imperceptible imbalance begins. The damage is invisible at first, but soon enough, it's unmistakable. The centrifuges begin to degrade, silently sabotaged by an invisible force, a force none of the engineers could have anticipated. Within hours, dozens of the most sophisticated machines in Iran's nuclear arsenal are no longer functional. The country's nuclear program, years in the making, is dealt a staggering blow. But the real question looms. What kind of weapon could cause such destruction without a single bomb being dropped? It wasn't just a glitch. It was an act of cyber warfare, one so covert that it would take months for anyone to even realize what had happened. Who was behind it, and how far would it go before the truth surfaced? To understand the magnitude of what happened in June 2010, we must first look at the history leading up to that fateful day, a history of tension, secrecy, and technological innovation, set against the backdrop of an escalating geopolitical conflict. The world had known for years that Iran was pursuing nuclear technology. In the West, this was viewed with suspicion, primarily because of Iran's nuclear ambitions. To many, it seemed less like a peaceful energy project and more like the development of weapons of mass destruction. By the early 2000s, the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, had raised concerns about Iran's nuclear activities, and intelligence reports suggested that Iran was working on enriching uranium, a key ingredient in both nuclear power and nuclear weapons. But this wasn't just a question of national security for the West. It was a geopolitical game changer. At the heart of it was a fear that Iran's nuclear capabilities could shift the balance of power in the Middle East, destabilizing the region and potentially leading to a new arms race. For the US, Israel, and their allies, it became a race against time to stop Iran's nuclear progress. The intelligence community ramped up their efforts. In parallel, a covert war began, a silent, unseen conflict waged through espionage, sabotage, and cyber warfare. The goal: to delay Iran's nuclear program by any means necessary. In 2006, a breakthrough occurred. Researchers at the US National Security Agency, NSA, and the Israeli military's Unit 8200 discovered a new method of attack, one that would not require the use of conventional weapons or physical infiltration. They would attack Iran's nuclear facilities not with bombs, but with something far more insidious: a computer virus. This virus would be dubbed Stuxnet. The idea was simple in theory, but extraordinarily complex in execution. Stuxnet would infiltrate Iran's industrial control systems, specifically the Siemens software that operated the centrifuges at the Natanz facility. Once inside, it would subtly manipulate the operation of the centrifuges, causing them to fail while reporting normal readings to the operators. By the time the damage was realized, it would be too late. The centrifuges would already be destroyed. But this wasn't just a weapon, it was a masterpiece of digital precision, one so sophisticated that it was clear to the experts. This was no amateur job. It had the hallmarks of state-sponsored engineering. The development of Stuxnet was not just about stopping Iran, it was about sending a message about the future of warfare, where the battlefield is not confined to the physical world, but extends into the digital realm. The weaponized virus was designed to be a proof of concept, testing the limits of cyber warfare in a real-world environment. Its success would set the stage for an entirely new kind of conflict. In the years leading up to Stuxnet's deployment, the US and Israel worked in tandem, combining their strengths in cyber intelligence and military strategy. Israel had long been a leader in cyber capabilities, having built one of the world's most sophisticated cyber units. The US was eager to use its technological advantage to maintain its global power and influence. Together, they created a tool that could reshape the future of warfare. As the Natanz facility's centrifuges continued to malfunction under Stuxnet's influence, the cyber weapon was proving effective. But its true power was not just in the damage it caused to Iran's infrastructure. It was in the unspoken consequences of the attack, the sheer possibility of what this new kind of warfare could mean. Cyber warfare wasn't just a new tool, it was a new era, an era where wars could be fought in silence, unseen by the public, but with consequences just as devastating as any traditional military conflict. In the days following the attack, the Iranian authorities scrambled to find answers. At first it seemed like a minor glitch, something easily fixed. But as the days went on, the true scale of the damage became evident. Hundreds of centrifuges, some reports say nearly 1,000, were damaged beyond repair. This wasn't just a technical failure, it was an outright attack on the heart of Iran's nuclear program. The impact of Stuxnet rippled beyond the confines of the Natanz facility. Internationally, governments and intelligence agencies were scrambling to understand what had just transpired. The sheer audacity of the attack left many in the intelligence community stunned. No one had ever seen anything like it. A virus capable of physically damaging equipment that was supposed to be immune to digital threats. But the real story lay in what happened next. The world would soon learn that Stuxnet wasn't just a weapon, it was a statement, a chilling reminder of the power that cyber weapons could wield and the potential consequences of cyber warfare on the global stage. And as the evidence mounted, the question that loomed larger than any other was this: had Stuxnet crossed the line? Was this the beginning of a new kind of Cold War, fought not with armies and missiles, but with lines of code and digital sabotage? While the US and Israel remained silent about their roles, the world began to piece together the truth. The virus had been meticulously engineered, with a sophistication that suggested state-level involvement. The implications were massive. Could this be the spark that ignited a larger conflict? Had the attack on Iran's nuclear infrastructure, designed to delay their progress, set the stage for a new kind of warfare? One where nations would no longer just rely on military power, but on the ability to wage unseen, digital wars? The tension was palpable. The fear of escalation loomed large. But what would happen when other nations began to realize that their own cyber defenses might not be as secure as they thought? Would this be the moment that cyber warfare was officially declared a weapon of mass destruction?